Roads. They help us get from point A to point B. But what if there is no point B, or what if there is no road at all despite being a road? This may seem very confusing and impossible, but that is exactly what's going on in the case of Troope Drive. Come with me on a short and entirely pointless journey through unusual roads in Limestone County. Troope Circle is a tiny, insignificant road off of Hyde Street South, about 2/10 of a mile north of US Highway 72. On Google Maps, it doesn't look that interesting. However, looking at the Google Street View, you can see that something is afoot. It's a gravel path? This isn't necessarily abnormal, but it's certainly interesting nonetheless. Roads like this do exist, and as long as they're well maintained, they're perfectly fine. However, looking at the road today, where did it go? I have no idea. I originally wanted to figure out what happened to this road. I wanted to know where the name came from, what year it originated from, but I fell short of my goal. Come with me on a short and entirely pointless journey through how I tried to become a historian for the first time in my life. I started out with doing a simple Google search. Troope Circle, Athens, Alabama. Nothing of use. I did find a map of subsections from 2009 which acknowledges Troope's existence as its own subsection, but besides that, there's nothing. Wait, 1958? Oh. So the Troope subsection was officiated in 1958. Does that mean that the Troope Circle was also from 1958? But wait, there's only one house here 4 years later. Is that really enough to constitute a whole subsection? Next thing I did was go onto the white pages and looked up the address of the aforementioned single house. Apparently it's not considered a Troope Drive property anymore, it's now shown as being on Hyde Street. As well as being on the wrong street, the white pages still show there being residents here, which there obviously are not here anymore. I'd be mildly concerned if they were. Apart from those false facts, I got one more piece of information. The house was built in 1930. This most likely means that Troope Circle was also built in 1930, which would explain the poor condition of the road in 2013. This was the last piece of information I discovered. So I know the house was built in 1930, which means that Troope Circle was most likely also built in 1930. I know the Troope subsection was officiated in 1958, and the house was sold and most likely demolished in 2013 or 2014. That's definitely some interesting information, but it doesn't help me out much because I want to know more. Who lived here? Who built the house? Why did the road go abandoned? And why is the road sign still here? My next course of action was to email the Alabama Department of Transportation and the Athens City Street Department. I was relying heavily on these emails. However, neither of them ever responded, not even to say that they didn't know anything. I then proceeded to not do anything for 2 weeks. By now I was getting desperate. So I did something that nobody ever wants to do. I had to ask the teacher for help. I went to my history teacher since, history, and unfortunately he wasn't able to help. But he did recommend the Limestone Archives. This was it. This was my saving grace. The Limestone Archives is a building that is filled with every history-related thing you could think of. So I went in. And now, a very accurate recreation of the Limestone County Archives meeting I had. Troope Circle? No. Okay. So that was a complete failure, and so was this entire project. However, I still had 1 week left to make this, so I gave up. Except I didn't. Actually, I did. So here we are! I'm standing here in some wet grass, most likely committing a crime, while my mom records me rant about some non-existent road. Hi, Mom. Now, some people may look at this entire thing as an absolute failure, and I am one of those people, but this serves as a great example that life doesn't always go the way you want it to. Now, thanks for watching this entire train wreck. I gotta go catch up on literally every subject. Now, this would be the part where I switch to drone footage, but my dad crashed our drone 5 years ago, and we haven't gotten around to getting a new one, so roll credits while I just stand here doing nothing.